The Congo has long been known as a volatile hotspot for crime and armed militias. With increased dangers, the team must be extra cautious.
From guerrilla warfare to the local animals, to just the hazards of being on an unknown river, there's always danger involved.
Right on the border here,
10
guys.
feet of water, yes. We don't want to go any closer to the Congo.
The team is exactly where they want to be on the river, but just 100 feet away is the border with the dangerous Republic of Congo.
Problem is we're getting a little bit too close to the Congo side. We don't want to get too far over the front. This is what they call the frontier river, because it could cause more sorts of complications for us. We're at a deep part of the river, 15 feet, but we can't stay here because it's politically sensitive.
Gibbons and Mullen believe the major reasons why this animal hasn't been found is the remote location and the threat of searching in such a dangerous area.
Yes, we have to go.
Okay, let's go.
They are very close, but cannot take the risk. They reluctantly head back to camp.
Despite what you've just heard, Congo is perfectly safe. Well, perfectly safe may be hyperbole. The fact of the matter is there are some small dangers.
That hole drops all the way down to the bottom there. You can see another hole at the bottom. And that hive has been there for about a year now. Year and a half maybe.
And one of the ones that I want to talk about is these bees. These are African bees. You remember the Brazilian scientist who crossed African bees with domestic Brazilian bees and came up with killer bees accidentally. Well, this is what made the Brazilian bees into killer bees. So be careful. There are, in fact, many social insects back in the rainforest. One of the ones that you're very familiar with, I'm sure, is termites. I'm not used to seeing termites in the open. Why are these in the open?
Because it's quite cool here. There's no direct sunlight.
Now there's a group of ants that I want to turn to that attack and live off of termites. And these are called matabele ants. And those ants are named after a tribe in Africa, similar to the Zulus. The matabele ants both bite and sting, and they go around in fairly large groups, so be careful.
For the tribe or faction of and now there's two possible reasons why they're named after the tribe, or why the tribe does what the tribe originally did for the city. 50 or 100 men, and they'd go out and they'd raid a village, steal their cows, steal their goats, steal their women and booze and whatever else, and then come back to the main homestead with their loot and party on before the defenders of the area could come through. So they would raid into the Zulu territories, because the Zulus were a kingdom. They had an almost centralized war force, a defense force. So before the defenders could rush out and kill the offending Matabeles, the Matabeles had already taken everything. Much the same as these guys, who when they come into a termite mound, they will just grab and sting, because they have a very powerful sting, and it's a paralytic fall. If you come really close to here and you blow on them, it makes a sound. You're going to ruin your video now. Just come stand on the side here. As they They walk in a straight line, but as soon as you blow on them, they'll start spreading out a bit. So get down a little bit and listen very closely. You're going to have to get down a bit.
Amazing.
That's another reason why they're named for the tribe. Or the tribe is named for them. Cool. Metabelians. Here they forage in the termite mounds for food. Their primary source is worker termites.
That is on point.
Let's just say me and Uncle D.
We go way back.
We go way back.
Now, the Matabele ants are not the ants that are most famous in Africa for stinging and biting. Those would be the driver ants, which, as you can see, are considerably smaller. But they're extremely aggressive, and once they latch on, they're not going to let go. As a matter of fact, they don't sting you immediately when they get on you. They usually look for a tender spot, and they can make elephants stampede by going up the elephant's trunk and stinging it from the inside. Because they bite and won't let go, you can use them for sutures. If you have a wound, you can put an ant up on either side of the wound, so that when its jaws close, they act as sutures. You can spin the body off at that point, and the head will stay in there and not fall off until the wound is healed. I was telling my guide about the Azteca ants in South America that hide inside the scorpio tree, and he told me about some ants that were very similar in the area.
So a few days ago you were telling me about the scorpio plant in South America with the hollow stems that ants live in. This here is our African version. It is called the Barteria Fitzilosa, or Barteria tree for short. I picked a little leaf from another plant here. A piece of foreign material is going to aggravate these ants a bit. See if they're a bit quick on the ball now. They're not too bright, but they're quite strong. Come out. I'll be able to pull that off. I should be finding that leaf shortly work together. So the Barteria ant has evolved with this tree. Oh, there he goes. And will defend it. Now if that was a caterpillar, they would be stinging it as well as trying to push it off.
But biting and stinging ants are probably the least of your concerns if you're back here in the Congo. A more important concern is the tsetse fly, and they are very numerous and very aggressive, and they are not deterred by insect repellent. I did a little research before I went back in there, and I discovered someone that said that vanilla extract might prevent flies from biting you, and so I took some with me, and in fact it does seem to help. Oh, and by the way, these tsetse flies probably are not carrying sleeping sickness. The locals say that they don't have sleeping sickness back in this area.